Welcome to Rogue Dragon Gaming, and this is going to be the Symbaroum Game Master's Guide. I've showed you guys all the books except this one, so I decided I'd do the Game Master's Guide. And here's the sections: it's Building Game Worlds, Adventure Chronicles, Adventure Landscapes, Troop Play, Adventures for Heroes, Under, Above, and Beyond, Goal-Oriented Role-Playing. Okay, that's just for the first part. And then we have challenges and rewards. And exploring. One of the things I really like about this Game Master's Guide is it's got stuff in here where you can randomize exploration. So, here's talking about building your game world. Your themes, main conflict, stories, examples. So, Adventure Chronicles. So, a chronicle, we're talking about a series of adventure or, a campaign. So, it's more stuff about building adventures. Let's see. Adventure landscapes. Classic adventures and adventure landscapes. So an adventure landscape takes place in a single location. It could span a whole town, like in the Bell Tolter Caster. It can be a limited forest area, like in the Tomb of Dying Dreams. But it can just as well be a solitary castle or a cluster of palisaded buildings. Okay, so I think what they're saying for that kind of adventure, we put the people in the adventure. There's no, well, you're in town, then you got to travel and get there. It's you know, like a one shot. Okay, troop play, an alternative to traditional play, where each player controls a single character, and that the players can take on multiple characters, often connected by a common place, organization, or theme, called troop play. Under, above, and beyond. It doesn't have a thing where I can click and go to the page for this thing. Let's see. In the realm of Ambria and Davakar, that's basically the civilized area and the uncivilized area, do you want to offer your players something more spectacular than excursions to the land of the Order, the First Realm, or the Western Plains? If that is the case, it may be a good idea to have one or a number of gaming sessions take place in what in Symbaroum is called the Underworld, the Yonder World, and the Spirit World. Planes of existence that lead to new experiences and perspective, as well as other kinds of challenges. Okay, so it's planar adventures. So let's set out your basic kind of adventures. And challenges. Traps, pitched battles, managing a domain, social challenges, Expeditions in Davacar, that's a biggie. So both pitch battle, both Ambriar and Davacar are scenes of large-scale battles in which the player characters can play a direct role or even lead one-side's troops. For many gaming groups, it is enough for the game master to describe the major developments, while the player characters act as usual in specific scenes, with the larger battle as a dramatic background with no impact on the player character's fight. For other groups, it is more relevant that the overarching battle is also governed by rules and that the player character's actions echo in the latter context. So, I mean, it's just basically that's going to be like your mass combat rules. And then down here, expeditions in Davacar. It has been said before, but bears repeating time and time again. Davacar is a forest like no other. Traveling through an ordinary forest can be dangerous, arduous, and fraught with unpleasant surprises. But in Davacar, the threats are greater, the challenge is tougher, and the surprise is far more deadly. And the further into the forest you go, the more dangerous it becomes. While travelers near the edge of Davacar may encounter a flock of meerkats, those venturing deeper into the woods will be more likely to face a horde of skullbiters or a famished arch troll. So different types of missions like treasure hunt, exploration, a manhunt, going after a bounty, missionary work. If you have a British group, you have clerics and things. Maybe a group of clerics want to hire you as a mercenary to protect them. And then it has movement. Where are you at? Are you in an area that's really the dark Davacar, where there's a lot of that corruption? Or in the bright Davacar? Or you're on the plains? How far you're going to go in a day, or on marching or riding, depending on whether it's regular or a forced march or a death march. So you can see here, it's dark, it's medium, it's lighter. The more darker, the more corruption. And then you got dark Davacar, wild Davacar, bright Davacar. In the bright Davacar, there are different civilizations, and then the Ambriar that they talk about, that's down in here. I think this is also referred to as plains. And then the western plains, that's around here. That's to the west. And then here, that's the mountain range. Here it's giving you, ideas for different adventures. Okay. Acquiring an explorer's license for journeys in Davacar is simply a must, and an expensive one at that. On page 34 in the core rulebook, there is a table which can help you calculate the price, and remember that the licensors are rarely restricted when it comes to increasing the base rate with extra add-on cost. Characters who have difficulties raising that kind of money have a few painful options to choose from. Selling properties, artifacts, or other assets, borrowing the missing sum at high interest rates, or offering to sell future shares in their expedition. Given the level of risk, the interest rate should be 25% per month, 20% with a successful persuasive test. And persons who are offered future shares should demand 10% for every 100 thaler they invest, i.e., 50% for a loan of 500 thaler. More than that will be next to impossible to lend against future shares. So to go adventuring, you need to get a certificate from the government. And if you don't get one of those, they catch you out there. I guess you can get arrested. Okay. So expeditions, and then it's getting into, it's just showing you how to travel and how long you go. Now, and it's getting into uh, your encounters. For each day of travel, the expedition leader makes a roll on the table 26, ruins and Davakar. Successful orientation test grants a bonus of +2 in addition to any other modifications. Determines whether the party finds a ruin, and if so, what type of ruin it is. So the chart here for that. Here's uh, encounters, hunting party missionaries, treasure hunters, uh, terrain, what kind of terrain you're going over, and effects it has on the party, encounters, enemy encounters. Uh, Now we're gonna, if there is treasure in the ruins, here's tables to roll up the treasure. Okay. Now here's tables for uh, like if you do find ruins, to roll the ruins up, what type it is, its inhabitants, entryways, and then you can roll details, doors, rooms. Okay, here it's even now it's showing details for ceremonies. Because there are spells you get in this game that are rituals, or maybe this is ceremonies that like NPCs would be doing, things like that. But a really good section there on randomizing exploration. And then we have more treasure tables in here, and artifact tables. And see legendary creatures. So, an adventure's climax does not always have to be a faithful confrontation with a group, person, or creature standing between the player characters and their ultimate goal, but in many cases it is. And in this chapter, we want to address the creation of memorable bosses who are powerful enough to challenge even the most veteran heroes. The resistance level legendary was introduced in the Symbaroum Monster Codex, which we just did a video on, as a designation for supremely powerful, unique monstrosities. But what should one keep in mind when designing such an individual? So, basically, this is an NPC kind of creation thing for boss NPCs. Or it could be for boss monsters, because it's got legendary dragons here, legendary arch troll. Alright. Okay, so, and then we got treasures. So this is, been a quick look at this really, I think, just for the random mounted tables alone, it's a good book. Please give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.